Good morning.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning,
Good
ma'am.
morning. Just hold on. Wie geht's euch? Wie war Ihre Wochenende?
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
Now?
Yeah, ma'am. It's okay now.
Yeah. So wie war dein Wochenende? How was your weekend, people? Okay or not okay?
Not okay, ma'am.
Did you finish your work?
No, it's too much. In each subject, we need to finish each project, and for some subject, they are putting six projects.
Oh my goodness. And
So,
what is the deadline for you?
deadline is in this month. I just finished one project and presentation, and I need to go for the others.
Okay.
Uh, it's progress. It's working, but not completed yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, also, if we are working and give it to the teacher, they will say you need to change this, like that.
What do they say?
Like you need to improve here, you need to improve here, like that.
Yeah, that is what is your work. No. Yeah. I know it is hard, but then yeah, you have to go on, right?
Yeah, man. Sai, Givata.
Good, sir.
Man, actually, Sai is also going to join in our university.
He'll be a junior.
No, only I think only one semester difference.
One semester, then also he's a junior only.
Yeah,
Atul,
ma'am.
you can
Yeah,
drag him.
yeah. I need to write him.
അങ്ങോട്ട് വാട്ടാ.
Give him quite a hard ones, okay?
അനക്കുള്ള പണി ചെയ്യാൻ തരുന്നുണ്ട് ഇപ്പഴല്ല പിന്നീട്.
Sai.
What is he saying?
He will told me that he will make some പണി എന്താണ് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് പറയാ ലൈക്ക് പണി സിദ്ധേട്ട
Funny
പണിക്ക്
job,
ആ
job.
പണിയല്ലേ മാം ലൈക്ക് പണി ഇൻ ദ റോങ്
Fever
മീനിങ്
I
പണി ഇൻ
will
ദ
give
റോങ് മീനിങ്
a good job,
ലൈക്ക്
man.
കൂടോത്രം ലൈക്ക് ദാറ്റ്
means what? That
കൂടോത്രം
also you're saying
ദൈവമേ
in Malayalam.
കൂടോത്രത്തിന് ചേട്ടാ സിദ്ധേട്ട സഹായിക്കേട്ടാ എന്ത് പറയുന്ന ഈ പണിക്ക് പണി കൊടുക്കാന്നുള്ളതിന് ദൈവമേ
പാവം.
like okay we sometimes we are giving some prank to our friends like that.
Ah, okay. So will he give a prank or will you do a
Yeah,
prank on
no,
him?
he will give prank when he reach the
Ah,
Poland.
see? Let us see who is doing prank on whom. We will plan it properly. Okay, Atul.
Yeah, ma'am.
ഞാൻ അങ്ങനെ
I'm
ചെയ്യും
waiting.
ഒക്കെ തോന്നുന്നുണ്ടോ?
I'm waiting, ma'am.
Sai, when are you going?
ഹലോ.
സായി പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുക്ക എന്നാ പോണെന്ന്.
When
ഇത്
when
ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടോ?
are
Ma'am, actually I will 13th I have the VFS interview for
okay,
13th. So I will go today, me and Ajay.
okay, okay. You're
And
leaving today in the night to
yeah,
Chennai, right?
yeah,
No?
Chennai Pattanam.
Yeah, Chennai, Madras Pattanam, that is.
Mm.
Yeah, enjoy the beach.
Enjoy
There.
beach. Okay, ma'am. I have exam tomorrow. I have exam. Day after tomorrow, I have exam. I need to
Oh,
write
yeah,
on the exam there. That's why I'm planning.
yeah. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. So we'll just start, and there is only a very little bit to our the chapter 8, which is meine Wohnung. But before that, I would like you to just look at maybe like just work in a group to write about your house. But before we will just look into the vocabulary that we need. So just hold on. Okay. So we have, yeah, there are so many Wohnformen that we already saw last class, right? Ein Familienhaus. And just remember that it is only one word, it is not three words. Ein Familienhaus, not like that. It's ein Familienhaus. Mehr Familienhaus. Ein Familienhaus is one single home. Maya familial house is like, see, like Bea's apartment. There will be maximum of 3 to 4 floors. There'll be like 12 to 20 houses. That's all. A very, very small apartment, but there will be blocks. But apartment Wohnung is something like, Wohnungen is like quite bigger, like which means like more than 40, 50 apartments in a space is called eine Wohnung. And then sie haben einen WG, which is called ein Wohngemeinschaft. Wohngemeinschaft is nothing but you will have a room. It's like a hostel. Usually, the Wohngemeinschaft is for students, yeah, and for people who are working, singles. Probably like Wohngemeinschaft is also leased out by a university, and they will give you accommodation, which is called the Wohngemeinschaft. And when we see the other house, villa is like very, very, very rare in Germany. We don't really see villas, but you also see Bauernhaus, which is a farmhouse. Bauern farm house is house. So Bauernhaus is the farmhouse. And you have anything else? Einfamilien, Mehrfamilien, Wohnung, Wohngemeinschaft, Villa, Bauernhaus. Yeah, I think so. So these are all the types of houses. And when you want to describe your house, what are all the things that you need to describe? Okay. Wohnform. Das bedeutet, ist das ein Einfamilienhaus oder ein Mehrfamilienhaus und so weiter. Und dann gibt es wie viel Zimmer hast deine Wohnung or anything, whatever is your house, how many rooms do they have? Okay, and then beschreiben Sie jedes Zimmer, every room. For instance, if I'm going to say, okay, ich wohne in ein Mehrfamilienhaus und ich habe 3 Schlafzimmer, ein Wohnzimmer, eine Küche und, ähm, und einen sehr großen Balkon mit einer eigenen Terrasse. So this is what is my house, which that is how my house looks like. So then I would go to each of the rooms. Mein Wohnzimmer ist groß und hell und ich habe einen Esszimmer, das ist mit den Wohnzimmer geklebt, which means like I have a living room and I have a dining room, which is like geklebt is like brought together. It is like stick together is what is like geklebt, and Kleber means gum actually, like to stick is like Kleber. So geklebt means like to just stick together, which means like I have a living room with a dining hall attached. Then ich habe 2 Schlafzimmer. Ein Elternzimmer ist ziemlich groß, aber es ist ein bisschen dunkel. My room is a little cozy because we stay in the north. My house is a north facing house, so my bedroom is a little darker. Ja, und dann gibt es einen ziemlich großen Kinderzimmer und wir haben zwei Kinder und es ist genug für zwei Kinder. It is enough for two children. Sie haben alle ihr Spielzeug und ihren Bett. So they have all their toys and everything in their room. And then ich habe einen großen Balkon. I have a very big balcony und ich habe eine eigene Terrasse. So our terrace is like very big and it is for us. Nobody else uses it. So this is how is my home and ich zahle über like you can say how much you pay meter is so and all of that. So when it comes to beschreiben jedes Zimmer, you have to just like describe each room and then meter. Meter means rent. Then sie haben einen Nebenkosten. Strom und Wasser. Strom is electricity and water is water. You know it very well, water. And you have to usually, so for instance, if somebody says in Stuttgart, Euro inklusive Nebenkosten. For a room, if at all they are saying 420 euros inclusive, and then which means your strom, which is electricity and water, is included. Sometimes it is euro exclusive Nebenkosten, which means it is not included. Yeah, so it is very important for you to look into apartments whether it is with water and electricity, and you need to ask them how much is for water, how much is for electricity. Usually all of that is definitely you need to really look into that. And then if you see something else, what are the things? Mobiliate der Wohnung oder Immobilierte. Mobilierte Wohnung, which means a furnished apartment. Immobilierte is a very vacant apartment. You don't have anything. Tile mobiliert. Tile mobiliert, which means mobiliert is partially furnished, like you have the shrunk and a bed and all of that. So these are the things. So your job is to write about your place where you live and who lives. Like for instance, ich wohne mit meiner Familie, or ich wohne mit meiner Freundin, or any of that. So these are the things that you need to know. And your writing should also depict a lot of adjectives. Yeah, just use your dictionary to find out. It is really if you want to say bright or expensive, cheap, all of that, please use your dictionary to use enough number of adjectives, and find some adjectives also for which suits your writing, because this is also one way of expanding your adjectives, which makes your writing richer. Yeah, so I'm going to put you in groups, and I think like you are five. Okay, so I hope like maybe I'll just form two groups so you can come back and you have quite a good time to write about your Vono. Yeah. And you don't have to write the true about like where you live for now. You can even write about your home place, your parents' place. Yeah. So and just write about the Umgebung. It's very important. Umgebung is nothing but the environment. The Umgebung is yeah modern. Modern is like full of big roads and big buildings and all that is Umgebung is modern. Oder ich wohne in einen schönen Natur, like a beautiful nature surrounded Umgebung. Ich habe eine schöne Natur. Umgebung is like a very beautiful, naturally formed environment, and we have the house right there. And then you can also talk about garden, which is important, like your place. And like usually in Kerala, you have a lot of trees. I always really, I'm very very happy to go to Kerala just to just see these beautiful trees around. And like Sai just told us in the last class, mostly it is I would say individual houses than rented houses, like sorry, a flat. So that is also one thing that is very special. And when it is garden, then you can say Bäume, Baum und Pflanzen. So, or Pflanzen is like trees, and the plants. Umgebung is like, you can also say, Strand. Strand is a beach, whether it's near to the beach, because Kerala is completely coastal areas, isn't it? So you can just say, ich fahre 20 Minuten zum Strand, which means like 20 minutes to the beach is where I live. So you don't have to always start with ich. Instead, 20 Minuten fahre ich im Bus und dann bin ich in Strand. Like 20 minutes I travel in the bus, and then finally I'm there on on the beach. So this is how is the distance where I live. So it should really say about the place where you live in, beautifully bring an image for the place where you live in. Why we are stressing this too much? Because this is one of your very very important topic for your exam exam point of view also. Yeah, so when you know how to write about your house, it is almost like, you are 80% passed to A1. So this is a very important milestone. So just take quite some time to finish it nicely, and it should be at least like, some 20 lines. Definitely it will come to 20 lines. So if at all you can say, if you want to say rent, ich habe keine Miete, weil ich, maybe because you don't have to say, then you can actually make it very simple saying, ich wohne in meinen eigenen Haus, which means it's my own house. So deshalb habe ich keine Miete. That is why I don't have any, rent. So you can do that. And yeah, so that is what is a work. Any questions? Haben Sie Fragen?
Ma'am, actually, I just don't present in the past two classes, but I don't know what is ein Familien House and Mer Familien
Ah,
House. What's
okay.
the difference?
Yeah, Einfamilienhaus house is nothing but a single individual house, we call it. Yeah, but Mehrfamilienhaus house is almost like, you'll have two floors in your own house and then let it out for rent. It is not an apartment. Do you have some things like that? Like downstairs, the owners live, the first floors, the tenants live, the second floor, also the tenants live. It's a very small one, less than like 10 to 10, maybe maximum, is a Mehrfamilienhaus house.
That means 10 floor maximum.
Maximum. It should be
10 floor.
usually four or five, Atul, not more than that we will have. So maximum, we don't like, of course, I have a friend who lets out for rent, and she has almost like um 8 houses, which means like small one bedroom houses. She has a 5 cent plot. Downstairs it is for parking, and then she has 8 houses to let out. So that is also a Mehrfamilienhaus. And Wohngemeinschaft, you don't have a kitchen there. Usually it's only hostel rooms like things, there will be a common kitchen, common dining area, common Küche, which means common kitchen. And like you also have some, like, in Bangalore and Chennai and many places now, they have like, guest, not guests, I would say hostel rooms, where you have common spaces and then your room. So that is ein Wohngemeinschaft. And Mehrfamilienhaus, you understood, right? What's the idea of Mehrfamilienhaus? Wohnung is apartment where you have lift, you have security, all these are Wohnungen or Wohnung, die Wohnung. Ja, das Einfamilienhaus, das Mehrfamilienhaus, die Wohnung, die Wohngemeinschaft, die Villa, and das Bauernhaus. Is there any other questions? No? Okay, so I'm going to give you half an hour. Okay, when you come back, I would like you to maybe, you can even type on your screen and then share with us. It would be wonderful if you could just write it down also. That is okay. If you want to read it out, just write it down in your note and read it out. If you want to just type it in your on your screen and present it also is fine. At least one or two people, please do that, so that whenever there is any, like, of course it is a learning for others, and I could also see if there are any mistakes, then we learn it together. We see what how it could be written, all of that. Yeah, so the sentence structure we can always look back, and just when you write, just remember these things. One is sentence structure: subject, verb, and then object. Just bring the verb into the second position, and write down in an order, and it has to be in paragraphs, like small small paragraphs, so that it is easy for the reader to read. Okay, I have created the breakout rooms, so you can join in, and we will come back at 11 o'clock. But I want a very perfect writing. That is what it is. You can go. Thank you. Hi, Siddharth.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, Siddharth. Good morning.
Good morning.
Siddharth, what I have sent them to the breakout room just now. So it is writing on meine Wohnung, which means my house, mein Haus, or meine Wohnung, which means my apartment. So last class we saw about Einfamilienhaus, Mehrfamilienhaus, and so on, right?
Yes.
So I have given them some work to write down about your house, which means where you live, how is the environment, do you have a garden, how many rooms you have, and every room you have to describe in like a few lines. Mein Wohnzimmer is groß und hell, which means my living room is big and bright, all of that. Then
Yes.
if you have a rent and inclusive of Nebenkosten is but nothing but additional charges. So many things I have given them small hint points. I asked them to include all of those. So I'll put you into a group so you can go and uh, just join them so that it would be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
1 second. Okay, so we are back. So, any questions that you have to just close your work or something in case if you had any doubts?
Ma'am, I have a doubt that
Yes.
if a road is made up of mud, how we can say that
Mud.
mud road, like not tarred, not how we can say.
I don't know because it is like I've never seen any roads with mud. Of course, ours you can say zan. Zan means like
Trekking,
mud. Huh?
trekking
Trekking
full
road.
mud road.
No, I mean like houses in a mud road is very very rare to see there. We don't
Like
have anything like that. But you
there.
can,
Okay.
yeah. So you can say Schlamstrasse. Schlam means like yeah muddy we can say, or die Straße mit Sand. Sand is like also mud. So you can say, yeah, Schlam is usually sludge, mud, and all of that. Schmutz is dirt. Okay, so there are so many things there, and a muddy road, I would say it is Schlamstraße.
Okay, ma'am. Also, temple mosque എന്താ പറയാ? Temple and mosque.
Temple, mosque is temple and mosque. But a temple with an LE in English, it changes to EL in German. TEMPEL. Anything with LE changes to EL in German, mostly. Like article, for instance, in English, changes to article with an EL in German. Yeah. So TEMPEL. Temple is what it is. Mosque, I think it is mosque and no, no, no. Mosque is actually
Moshe.
moshi.
Okay.
Moshi. Yeah, moshi. And church is, you know that, right? We have
No,
learnt in the Hamburg lesson.
I don't remember, ma'am, that word.
It's very very similar to a kitchen. How do we say that, and how do
Christian.
we say
Kirsche, Kirsche.
kirha?
Christian.
Kirha.
Then a Kirsche.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's either like kirche, like Kirche. Yeah, Kishe or Kirche also people say Kirche, the same spelling with a different pronunciation because they do Kirche because there is Kirsche, which means plums, berries are called Kirsche. So Kirche, you need to remember that. I'm just going to put that in your maybe the whiteboard so that see Küche with einen U-Umlaut, die Küche, mm, die Küche, Kirche, Kirche means berries, and you have Kirche, Kirche. Kirche is church. That is what it is. Yeah. So anything else?
Ma'am, what we call for scooter there.
Motorrad.
For bike, it's a Farad. Farada.
Farad is cycle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So scooter and bike, what we call what they call like the difference between scooter and
They
bike.
a scooter and bike, I don't really. Motorrad is what they say, and it is common to both. There is nothing like we call a scooter and yeah, they also say moped, moped. Moped is also like one word that we use here, used here. We used to like my father used to say when he had this TVS XL, something like he used to call that as moped. Yeah, so they also call it moped, but it is usually motorrad. And yeah, that is how it is. Could be like there are any other specifically bikes. I have always heard it as motorrad from them. Yeah. Anything else?
Ma'am,
Hmm.
what does sich means?
What is it?
Sich, like befindet sich im Wohnstock. Uh,
Befindet sich, SICH.
yes.
Okay. So the 1 second, Juhi, Atul's question, like the ones which the children use, that is actually called a scooter also. The ones where they stand and then they use the other leg to go. Do you understand
Yeah,
what I'm
ma'am.
trying to?
Yeah,
Ha.
I understand. But for some
That
time, the ladies use one type of scooter, like the men's use bike, like that. What's the
that is
difference?
both. Usually, it is motorrad only. That is like nothing. Scooter, a scooter. If you actually say scooter, what they will understand is the children's thing where they just hold their hands and then they use their legs to just go. It's actually called a roller in German. So whenever you say scooter, they actually will think of this. They won't think of the scooty or your your kinetic Honda or something. It's usually motorrad is motorrad. That's all. Okay. Coming to Juhi's question, befindet sich is a reflexive form of verben. There are verbs where we say there are verbs which is transitive verbs, intransitive verbs, with an object, without an object, many things. And there are some things called reflexive verbs. uh, it finds, for instance, I would say it finds itself in a beautiful community. The house is situated in a beautiful community, is what I wanted to say. But there are English phrases as well where you say befinden is to locate, or befindet is like located in such a beautiful community. But that located comes with a reflexive form. Yeah. So whenever I would say ish, for instance, ish washe mich gerne, means I wash myself well, because like I come out from outside. Ich gehe zum Supermarkt und dann, wenn ich komme zurück, when I come back, ich wasche mich gerne. I wash my hands, oder ich wasche mir die Hände gerne. We say that mir, mich, all of that are a form of reflexive verbs. You will learn it only in A2, but you will find out, like, whenever you see mich, dish, mir, dear, then zish, and z, all of this, sometimes you just need to know, okay, this is a reflexive form. Where I do something to myself, I wash myself the hand. We never say that in English, but in German, it is there. So you just have to be aware of these reflexive verbs. You won't actually write anything for reflexive verbs in A1, but usually in A2 you will start using it. Yeah. Anything else? Any other questions you had while working with it? So whenever you see this mish, mir, dish, dir, zish, zish, uns, euch, I would always ask, right? How are yourselves doing? It's not how are you doing. It's usually we get as dear. Dear is yourself. How are you with yourself? But we don't have anything like that in English, so it is very very hard for us to understand why does it come here. So you will learn that in A2. But whenever you see this, just be kind to yourself and say, okay, these are reflexive verbs. Just say that name and say, whenever you say myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, themselves, yourselves, again with the respect form, then you can just put that into the thing and say, okay, this is reflexive verbs. Yeah. Anything else? Shall we go into the sharing part where each one of you would like to share? Is there anyone who actually had written something on the screen and wanted to share? Or have you all written in your notes? Come on.
സിദ്ധിയേട്ടൻ സിദ്ധിയേട്ട ചേട്ടോടെ എഴുതിയത്?
Uh, should I read it now?
Yeah,
Or
you can read it. You can read it. Yes,
yeah.
please. I'll just stop sharing. Yeah.
Ich lebe in einer Wohnung ein wenig weit weg von der Stadt.
Mhm.
Es gibt kein Ausdruck, auch wenn ich immer im Vierstock wohne.
Mhm.
Wir haben zwei Schlafzimmer und das Wohnzimmer ist sehr bequem. Und das wohnt in der Nähe meines Haus gibt es einen Wald, wo wir oft spazieren gehen und es ist wunderschön. Die Farbe meines Hauses ist grau. Wir haben einen großen Garten und wir waschen Gemüse. Die Miete meiner Wohnung beträgt äh, 400 € inklusive Wasser und Strom. Das Haus, in der ich wohne, ist sehr alt.
Ist das alles?
Ja,
Yeah. Okay. Sehr gut. It was perfect. Like many sentences were really in order. There was like grammatically it was right. And just one thing is like when you said about genus, right? Genus. What have
Gemüse. Und wir haben einen großen Garten und wir waschen Gemüse.
Gemuser. Okay,
Gemüse, ja.
Gemuser. Okay, yeah. Okay, fine. That's what was a little not very clear for me. Okay, fine. And what are all the words that I can pick out from here? Can anyone tell me what are all the other words that he used, which was very new, other than what I had written in the board? Did you all understand what he was reading? Can somebody tell me how is his house? What is a meter? What is the rent for his house? Can somebody tell me? Come on. What is Siddharth's rent every month? No one can tell me. 300, 400, 500, inclusive, exclusive,
Maybe 400, man. I think
maybe
so.
400. Okay.
Because
I think you think so. It is 400. Is that
yeah,
inclusive of Strom und Wasser or the exclusive?
it's including, I think,
Including.
because
Is that right, Siddharth? Sid?
my hostel fees is 400 zlotys, so I just assume that it's right.
Ja,
Ah,
Okay,
correct.
that's right. That's right. And please listen to each other because they have written in a very unique ways. You'll get to know some words that you need to know. See, Aufzug is nothing but the anyone could tell me what is an Aufzug? Aufzug is lift. And I really like the way Sid when you said about wenig weit von der Stadt. Like wenig weit, or it's a couple of minutes. That's what, and it is couple like very less far from the city, which means it is very near to the city. Bequem is another adjective that I would like all of you to know. Bequem is comfortable. Und das Sofa ist bequem. Das Sofa ist unbequem, which is uncomfortable. Yeah. Comfortable. And there is another adjective called comfortable with a K. Yeah, comfortable. And bequem also is comfortable. It's synonym. Synonym means synonyms. In der Nähe means in the nearby. Yeah, in der Nähe gibt es so and all that. Ja, in der Nähe gibt es viele Supermarkt und alle einladen. Einladen means shops. Ja? And yeah. Then what else? In der Nähe gibt es eine Apotheke, eine Bäckerei und viele Laden. So that's what it is. And you can even say die Straße, the street ist sehr um, gerauschbereit, which means like, it is very, very noisy. Es ist uh, niemand spricht. When we say about like very, very calm, then we have some things like it is very calm and quiet. How do you say quiet? Any idea? We have learnt about this verb ruhig. Do you remember? Die Straße
Yes,
ist
ma'am.
sehr
It's okay.
ruhig. Yeah,
It's
ruhig means,
calm.
yeah, it's very calm and quiet. Yeah. And what else? That is what it is, I think. Like, yeah, the environment, the Umgebung is ruhig, means very, very relaxing. Very good, Sid. Thank you so much. Next, who is going next?
I will read it, ma'am.
Yes, Atul. Please go ahead.
Ich wohne in ein Familienhaus im Dorf. Mein Haus gemalt wie rot. Das Umgebung ich lebe ist heißes Klima. Wir haben einen kleinen Garten. Haus haben 5 Schlafzimmer, ein Wohnzimmer, viele Toilette, 2 Küche und Terrasse. Mein Haus in der Nähe des Strandes. Ma'am, what we call like near to
Strand.
sea? Strands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Strand.
Es ist etwa 10 Minuten Fahrrad. Ich habe einen Hund, eine Katze, ein Fischbecken, 8 Deck und 20 Hähne in meinem Haus. Mein Haus ist nicht vermietet. Haus enthalten Tisch, Schrank, Sessel, Bett, Computer, Stuhl, Sofa, Kühlschrank, Regel, Schreibtisch und Fernsehen. Die in der Nähe von meinem Haus ist Schlammstraße. Es gibt viele Tempel und Moscheen in der Nähe von meinem Zimmer. Ein Auto, 3 Motorrad in meinem Haus. Das war's, ma'am.
Is that Alice? Yeah, good, Atul. Very nice. It was very, very detailed and it was very nice to hear you. Certain things that I would like to bring it to your notice is like, the last sentence. Can you read the last sentence?
Ein Auto, 3 Motorrad in meinem Haus.
Gibt es in meinem Haus. Yeah, it is
Gibt
there.
in
Yeah, gibt comes from the verb. Es gibt, there are. Es gibt, there are. Yeah. Ein Auto, zwei Motorrad und ein Fahrrad gibt es in meinem Haus. Es gibt, in meinem Haus. That's usually the sentence structure. Es gibt ein Auto in meinem Haus. Es gibt zwei Motorrad in meinem Haus. And so on. It goes on like that. There are. That is what is the meaning. There is or there are or there he is when we say es. Yeah. Gift is a very, very, I would say, a very ex, it's an exception because when it comes from the verb geben, geben is to give. Okay, but there is another word where we say it has as gift. It has or there are. All of this is also as gift. Yeah. So whenever you want to say anything, usually people use this as gift so much. Im Hamburg gibt es einen Flughafen und einen Bahnhof, großen Bahnhof and so on. So for instance, in der Supermarkt, in den Supermarkt gibt es viele Tierprodukte und Milchprodukte. Gibt es is like one magical mantra. So anything whenever you want to say there is, it is, it has, all of that gift s, and you will really get to see this gift s everywhere in your book. And A2 is like completely with gift s. So many times you, and even when you want to say there are na whatever you want to say as gift, you can just quickly use that. So put a box on this as gift and just write down there are, it has, anything, it means that.
Ma'am, what's the difference between gift S and S gift? For same.
Same only, same. It's the same.
So
So
we
for
can use.
instance, gift is, for instance, it's the same thing, no? For our verbs. See, when the verb comes first, gibt es ein Fahrrad, gibt es ein Fahrrad, oops, Fahrrad in deinem Haus. If I'm going to ask this, then I would say, es gibt zwei. So when it comes in the question form, gibt es, and when it comes in the answer form, it is usually the verb goes to the second position. So you need to remember this. Yeah, it actually is with every verb. No, haben Sie ein Handy? Ich habe ein Handy. Yeah. Haben Sie, ich habe. So the verb comes in the second position when you want to answer. It goes to the first position when you actually when it is a question form. Okay. Anything else? Is that all?
Yeah.
Yeah. So some words that we could just look at is etwas or etwa. Etwa. What is the meaning of etwa?
Or about some distance, like
A little.
mine.
Yeah.
Yes, is it what only 10 minutes of ride like that.
Exactly. Etwas kannst du ein etwas Kuchen geben. Etwas is like a little or a very small, short. Anything is etwas, yeah. And that's right. Vermieten. That's a very good verb. And what does that mean? Mieten und vermieten.
So,
Ich
like
habe das.
random.
Yes, that's right. Ich habe das Haus vermietet, which means like I have rented it out. Yeah, vermieten. And what was your sentence, Atul? When it comes to vermieten, nicht vermietet, isn't it?
Mine house is nicht vermietet.
Vermietet is, das ist Atul's eigenen Haus. Eigenen is like own house. Yeah, vermieten is to rent it out. So it is not a rented one. It is his home, his own place. That's
Ma'am,
what is
it's
vermieten. Yeah.
vermietet and vermieten are same.
Yes, that's right. Because when it gets conjugated, das Haus ist vermietet, which means like it goes in the past form. Like, ich habe einen Kuchen gebacken. We say with a GE, isn't it, when it comes to the past? There are verbs which doesn't have GE form. If you remember, when you say some verbs like bezahlen, to pay, and you have studieren. Studieren is to study. One second. Yes, yeah. And for instance, vermieten, to rent out. All of this. When it comes in the past form, ich habe schon bezahlt. I have already paid. It's in the past form. Okay. Ich habe Mathe studiert. I have learnt Learnt, learnt mathematics. Ich habe das Haus vermietet. I have rented it out, which means like rented it out is in the past form. So when it comes in the past form, it is vermietet, studiert, bezahlt. All these verbs will not have a ge prefix when it comes in the past form. Yeah, we will definitely learn a little more about this past form in the coming lessons, but this is what it is. Yeah, is your doubt clear, Ratul?
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, what we call for deck? Same deck or something
Which
else? For
deck?
deck, yeah,
Spell it.
deck, ma'am. Taravu.
Deck.
Ah,
Yeah, Deccan. Yeah, yeah, the same only. Yeah.
He's just talking about the bird, the duck.
Bird.
Yeah, duck.
deck bed, ma'am. Taravu. ഇപ്പൊ എന്ത്
Oh, the
ഇംഗ്ലീഷ്
duck.
പറയാ?
Okay. I saw. See, such a small letter, and it is like deck. I wrote like this. No, you should tell me. Deck is like a Deccan is like a, what do I say? The floor which is like slanted is called an a Deccan. The duck, you mean the bird, is einen Enter in German. What is that in Malayalam? Duck. How do you call it?
താറാവ്, താറാവ്.
Taravu.
ഉം.
Okay. Taravu. Okay.
താറാവ്, കോഴി, like that.
Rakori, I know. It's hen. I don't know about this. Yeah, but in German it is enter. Yeah. Anything else? Any other things? That's all? Okay. So who goes next? No one. Who wants to go next? Quick.
I will read it, ma'am.
Yes, I.
Ich lebe in Tirol. Mein Haus ist weiß-türkisch.
Mhm.
Es gibt 5 Schlafzimmer, eine Speisesaal, eine
Speise.
Wohnzimmer,
What is it? Speisesaal?
Speisesaal, yes ma'am,
Ah, yeah.
Speisesaal,
Okay. Okay. Mhm.
eine Wohnzimmer und
Okay.
Küche, eine Geburtstraum vor meinem Haus befindet sich eine wunderschöne Garten.
Mhm.
Es gibt eine friedliche Umgebung.
Come
Mein
again. Come
Haus,
again. Please read that again.
es gibt eine friedliche Umgebung.
Okay.
Mein Haus liegt in der Nähe der Hauptstadt, 29 Minuten von meinem Haus zum Kutai-Strand und 5 Minuten zum Bahnhof und Bushaltestelle in Tirol.
Okay. And read that Umgebung. What is that word? Can you spell it?
Umgebung
Before that?
F F
Mm.
R
F
E
in English, come again. FR.
F R I E D L I C H E.
Have you written IDE or EUNDLICHE?
No,
Friendly, is that what you mean?
no, ma'am.
How is the environment? Like, translate that sentence for me, Sai, because I'm not able to understand what that sentence means.
Uh, there is a good environment, only that.
Spell it again. What is the word that you have written? Freundlich is friendly. Freundlich is freundlich is
Ma'am, peaceful. What we say for that?
peaceful. Okay. Friedlich.
That's it.
Friedlich, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Idlich. Friedlich. Okay, good. Friedlich Umgebung is a very peaceful and a quiet environment. That's right. Freundlich or Friedlich. It's good to bring those things. Freundlich. And then the last line, can you read it again for me?
Which, ma'am?
The
Five.
last two lines.
Uh, und 2 Minuten von meiner Haus zum Kutai-Strand.
What is that? What is that?
Kutai-Strand Beach.
Spell it.
Strand.
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 Okay, Strand. Okay.
Und 5 Minuten zum Bahnhof
Zum Bahnhof.
und Bushaltestelle
Mhm.
in Tirur.
Okay, good. So when you come to this first word, Speisesaal, Speisesaal is a place where you eat, right? But
Yeah.
it is for a very large community. We call it as a Speisesaal. For instance, the eating place in your like in your college or in your school. How do you call it? Canteen?
Canteen.
Canteen you call it, or there is a very big space for people to come and eat their own food also. Yeah, it is not needed that you need to buy something and eat. You can even take your food and go and eat. That is called eine Zaal. Zaal is a very very big one. When you want to say just
Uh,
dining room, then you can say Esszimmer. Esszimmer means the Zimmer, wo ich esse, which means where I eat. Is called ein Esszimmer. Speisesaal is perfectly right, but it is only for large communities like schools and colleges and in your office and so on. Esszimmer is very, very close, which is like, a very 10 by 10, 20 by 20 room, which is exclusively for dining purpose. Yeah. So Esszimmer,
um,
yeah, and then we say Kyusha. Can you say that again? Kyusha,
Kyusha.
Kyusha. And then whenever I see VON, how will you pronounce it, Sai?
Von.
No,
No, phone.
Fawn. Yeah, genau. Fawn, der Stadt. Bring that thing. And the other thing, what I would like you to say is, whenever you say whenever you say that sound has to come and not a sound. Many a times, like I hear this a sound, so consciously bring that effort for these two things. Okay, your task is whenever you see a V, you will say fawn, and whenever you see a, you will say Badezimmer, and so on. Yeah, just try to bring that. I think like otherwise it was very fine. Only these two sounds I heard it again and again in a very different way. That's why I'm bringing this to your notice. And it is for everyone. Whenever you see a V, please bring F sound, and whenever you have a sound, a, and bring a. Yeah, Badezimmer and Schlafzimmer, and because we tend to move to English very often as we are listening to it always, but it is important to bring the German accent of a, which is a. Yeah, Abcd. So that Abcd has to come there. That's the sound you will hear always. Thank you so much. And Friedlich is a peaceful environment. That's a very nice adjective to bring it. And yeah, that's fine. Thank you so much, Sai. Who goes next?
Me, ma'am.
Yes, Juhi.
Ich wohne in einer Wohnung. Es liegt im Stadtzentrum. Meine Wohnung befindet sich im 5. Stock. Es hat 2 Schlafzimmer, eine Küche, ein großes Wohnzimmer, ein Esszimmer, zwei Badzimmer und zwei Balkon. Wir haben einen Garten auf dem Balkon. Wir haben einen Park in Boden und ein Pool auf dem Terrace. In der Nähe gibt es eine Schule und einen Supermarkt. Das ist sehr lang. Mein Haus ist in gelbe und braune Farbe und weiße Farbe in meinem Zimmer. Ich habe ein Aquarium mit vielen Fischen in meinem Zimmer. Mein Zimmer ist dunkler als die Wohnzimmer, aber wunderschön. Das ist mein eigenes Haus.
Ist das alles?
Yes.
Super. Very, very nice. And it was like every verb, order, and grammar wise as well, the sentences were completely in order. Certain things for others, like leaked is to lay or situated. Yeah, leaked. India leaked in Sud-ASEAN. Sud-ASEAN is like the south of Asia. And we can say, what else? Africa, or you can say South, Sud Africa leaked in the Sud, or you can say in the south. Liegen is to just lay or located. Yeah. Befindet is situated. So mein Haus befindet sich in einer grünen Umgebung, in a green environment. Yeah. So befinden is a very beautiful verb that you can use very often when you actually describe a Wohnung. Next is Balkon. How do you say that, Juhi?
Balkon.
Balkon, sehr gut. Balkon. Ich habe zwei Balkon. And that is one thing. And everyone in their Nähe, this A umlaut is A. Just an A is A umlaut. This distinction of English, English, Deutsch. So A is A. Okay. A in the sense, how do I say, which is, if at all in Tamil, I would have written A like that. Yeah. A umlaut is A. This is how I can write down in German and English, but in Tamil I would say ad, like that. A. Yeah. A is air, or any. That any means a ladder. Okay. So can you also remember one word for A in Malayalam and one word for A in Malayalam? Can you say a word which starts with A?
ആട്, ആമ,
Ada.
അത്
Ada.
ആടാ, അത് ആ ആണ്, അത് ആ അല്ലല്ലോ.
Ah,
ആ
not that
അന്ന,
അപ്പം, അപ്പം.
appam. That's right. That's a very good one. So remember appam, okay? That is my favorite food as well. From, like, you make this para appam, no? That is very, very sweet. Yeah, appam. And
പഴംപൊരി
then not
പഴംപൊരി
param
അത്
puri.
വേറെ.
Adu vere.
പഴപ്പം ഏതാ? പഴപ്പം
ഉണ്ണിയപ്പോ,
Ah,
ഉണ്ണിയപ്പം,
yeah,
ഉണ്ണിയപ്പം
ഉണ്ണിയപ്പം.
that's
ഉണ്ണിയപ്പത്തില്
right.
പഴമില്ല.
Illaya.
ഇടും,
ഇല്ല.
ഇടും. ഉണ്ണിയപ്പത്തിൽ പഴം ഇടും, നമ്മളുടെ ഇവിടെ ഇടും.
ആ ആ
ചില
That's what
സ്ഥലത്ത്
is
ഇടുന്ന.
appam. Yeah, see, I know it well because I like it. No. Yeah. And then with an A.
अब 15 सेकंड में बनाइए अपनी व्हाट्सएप दुकान एकदम फ्री में और सामान बेचिए ऑनलाइन। पहले अपने स्टोर
A.
എ
Anything with an
ഓർ
A.
എ? വെറും എ.
A. Mm.
ഏത്തപ്പഴം.
അത് എ അല്ലേ? ഏത്തപ്പഴം.
ഏത്തപ്പഴം. ശരിയാ.
ഇത് ഏത്തപ്പഴമാണ്. എ വെച്ചിട്ട് എന്താ? വെറും എ വെച്ചിട്ട്
Eruma.
L. Eruma.
L. L is like sesame, right? Sesame seeds are L,
Born,
right?
born, born.
Oh, okay. How do you call sesame seeds?
L.
L. Ah, that A, that is also L only, no? That is in Tamil also it's L only. Yeah, L. Okay. So, A on A. Remember it? And A is uppam and A is like this, like L. Whatever. Whichever word you want to, please remember it, write down in your note. One Malayalam word, or if at all you know Tamil, then A is Amma and A is like it means eight in Tamil. So anything. So bring that, consciously be aware, because your pronunciations are much important as you have come to the end last leg of your A1, right? So it's important that you still, if you are still making little mistakes is okay, but every time if you make that mistake, it is not acceptable. Yeah. So bring that conscious awareness, and the main thing is this: please bring that F sound, because no, the examiners will not also tolerate when you say we, unless there are some things like there are words which has a V, that is okay, and this J, which is year. Bring these four things into picture, and when you say uh, if at all I rate this and this, you need to be very clear. Q, U. That U sound has to come when I say Kusha and Kusha. Kusha is not the right one. It's not Kusha, it's Kusha. That has to come with a Q and U sound. Kusha. Yeah? Kusha and Kusha. You can find out the difference between Kusha and Kusha. This is the difference when when it comes to u umlaut. Bring that also. All these vocals, like the letters, the alphabets, you need to bring that change at the end of A1 to show them that your pronunciation is right. Till from A1 start to now, it has developed a lot, but it needs to be sustaining certain sounds, and consciously when you see these alphabets, stop and then read. You can take your time and then read it correctly. Yeah. I would like to really do that maybe in the few classes, maybe on Wednesday. I can give you each one a paragraph for you to read so that I can know the pronunciations where and what we need to work on further. Okay,
Ma'am,
thank you so
ma'am,
much. Yeah.
ma'am, what we like hey sound, how we write in German hey, like kuhe, if we are pronouncing as kuhe or something, the hey sound how we write.
Which means like this, Kuhen.
The hey is che, not
Yeah,
n. If you are removing the n, how we pronounce it?
Kuha.
Kuhe. But
Kuha.
both the spellings are same, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. The only
Kushya.
thing is like Kusha with an U umlaut, and this is like with a U. Sometimes, like it is exactly like this. Oops, sorry. It is either we say it as ish, or it's this. I cannot write that. I don't have any sound like that. Ich, k, which comes in the word chaos. Chaos means like very chaotic. K, that sound, kite, chaos. All these k, that sound is ich, and ish is like sh with an s h. That's the sound. There are two different sounds for ch alone. So that's the difference. Sometimes we say ich and some people say ish. Both are right. But we need to know when it comes to Kirche, Kuchen, and that's what. These two are the words that usually people get confused. Kuchen und Kirche. Yeah, Kirche is with a Q sound. Okay, Kirche, Kuchen, Kuche, Kuchen. That k, that sound is chaos. K, that sound has to come in the front. Okay, who goes next? Amy.
Yes.
Yes, Amy.
Ich lebe in Fujairah in Wohnung. Die Wohnung befindet Mitte in der Stadt. Vom Balkon im ersten Stock. Ich kann meine schöne Fujairah sehen. Es gibt 7 Zimmer, alle nicht möbliert. Es gibt 2 Schlafzimmer, 2 Badzimmer, eine Halle, eine Küche und einen Balkon. Ich habe eine Aloe Vera, eine Tomatenpflanze und Tulsi in meinem Balkon. Der Kieslichstrand ist von meinem Balkon aussehen. Die monatliche Miete ist 2000 Dirhams, Strom und Wasser 150 Dirhams kosten. Es gibt das Supermarkt, die Klinik und das Restaurant in der Nähe. Das ist gute Wohnung zu leben.
Sehr good, Amy. Sehr good. It was very nice. And only that sentence with the strand. Can you read that again?
Der Kieselich-Strand ist von meinem Balkon aussehen.
What's that? What's that word? And
I meant like I can see the pebbly beach from my balcony.
what beach?
Pebbles.
Oh, pebbles. That's what, like, I was like, Kieslish. What's that? Kieselstein, you mean? Yeah, the pebbles. The pebbles are called the Kieselsteinliche Strand, you can say. Kiesel. That's what I was thinking. What is that? Kieslish. I couldn't understand that. That's a beautiful word to bring. Kieselsteinliche, the pebbly beach. Yeah, because there are like beaches which is completely with no stones, only sandstrand, which is like only with the sand. You can't see anything else. White sand, light brownish sand, light yellowish sand, and all that. Kieselsteinliche Strand, which means like there are so many pebbles on that beach. Not every beach has pebbles, so yeah,
What is
pebblish.
pebbles?
Pebbles are small stones, very nicely rounded and
അത്
soft and
പുഴയുടെ
smooth.
തീരത്തല്ലേ? It's like near to the river.
Yes,
കടലിലും ഉണ്ടാവും മാം.
yes. Rameshwaram and all, it's a pebbly beach. Means like it is, yeah, of course, like I told, there will be like, on the front of the what is that beach itself, when you just go in, Chennai and all doesn't have pebbles at all. Zero pebbles, I would say. I have never, only shells you can see. But there are some things where you put your legs inside, you have these pebbles right there. And these big stones also. In Pondicherry, it is usually pebbles. It's not pebbles at all. It is like really big stones. And you can also see small stones on the sides. That's what is the pebble beach. Okay. Then what else? That is one. And what else I have? Aussehen is a nice verb to bring. Halle. Okay. Aussehen, I'll finish. Aussehen, yeah, the strand is aussehnlich. I can see the like the beach, all of that. Halle, what did you mean by Halle, Emmy?
That's the whole.
Wohnzimmer is the living room. Halle means the floor. Yeah. And it is floor, you can say, which is the hallway or the hall, but we don't say like a hall. Either we call it as a drawing room or a living room in English. And auf Deutsch, it's a Wohnzimmer, which is the living room. Halle means the floor, which means the way there is nothing. There is like maybe sometimes if the Halle is gross or the floor is gross, then you can have some seating arrangements, but nothing is done here. Wohnzimmer, then es gibt einen Wohnzimmer. Apart from Halle, then there is a living room. Is there a living room in your place?
Yes.
And is there a floor?
Floor, yes. Floor is the hole, right?
No, no. Flur means the hallway, which means it's not where you sit and watch television. This is a room even before that, where you can hang your jackets. In Germany, it is very typical. You can hang your jackets. There is a shoe rack. There is, it is just a pavement or a floorway to all your other rooms. In my previous house in Germany, it was there will be a very long rectangular hallway where I used to keep my shoe stand, my jackets, my umbrella. There is a big grozen shrunk, a very big, I would say, cupboard, and where I can keep everything, and nothing else I keep. There were some few plants, and that's all. I don't keep anything else in the hallway. Then it goes into my Wohnzimmer and then mein zwei Schlafzimmern und dann eine Küche. And yeah, that is how it is. Yeah, so that is what is Halle is usually a flua. Okay, good. Thank you, Emmy, for bringing that. And next, Emmy, Sai, Judy, Siddharth.
Wait, ma'am. Actually,
Yes,
for that floor is Umarapadi, like that, Umaram,
means what?
like the
I
space.
don't know.
Okay, in our most of the house in Kerala have some space in front of their house. Like after
Yeah, yeah,
moving to the
yeah, yeah,
step,
yeah.
there is an open space like that.
Yeah, I know, I know. I have seen in movies, and I have many friends who have that. We say that as we also used to have that as open spaces initially, Atul. But now the floor, which means is a closed space. Like you have to just imagine that the space is completely closed. How do you say it? That is how what is floor in German. Exactly the same
എടാ
thing.
ഇടനാഴിയൊക്കെ പോലെ.
അല്ല അപ്പൊ ma'am, what we call that space, the
Floor.
open space? No, no, for that open
Open
space.
space. Open space, yeah, that is also floor only, but then it is a very close and like it's an open floor. That's what I can say. We don't have any word in German, especially because they don't keep it like that, no, because of the cold weather. They don't keep anything like the space is never open. Either they get into the garden, or it is a balcony, or it is a small terrace, they say. All that is the spaces they call it. Terrace is like is a space above, and garden is where a space like this you can see, and they use only in the summers. They can't use it in the winters. So we don't have a very specific one. What you asked me in German, yeah, you can say it's a flur. Aber es ist offnet means like it is open. That is what you can say. Okay, Siddharth.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Uh, Ich lebe in Alapura.
Mhm,
Die Umgebung ist so friedlich und ruhig.
mhm,
Mein Haus ist eintöckig.
mhm,
Es gibt vier Schlafzimmer, eine Wohnzimmer, Esszimmer und Küche. Äh, Es hat außer einen Innenhof und einen Garten, der ist schön. Okay, that's it.
that's nice. And Innenhof is also a very beautiful space where you have an open space inside your house, isn't it? How do you call that in Malayalam? The middle space where it is open to the sky.
നടുമുറ്റം.
Main,
നാലുകെട്ട്
uh,
നടുമുറ്റം.
നടുമുറ്റാടാ.
yeah, yeah. That is what is Innenhof. Yeah, that's a beautiful space. I love Kerala, houses with these Innenhof, or the space in the like even our Chettinad houses, they have this. Chettinad houses and the Kerala houses are very, very similar in like the plan, but the only thing is like the Chettinad houses uses a lot of stone rather, a stone in the sense like this, not this brick. Instead they use the big stones, like the square ones. I don't know how you call it in Malayalam. They use those stones, as well as they have a lot of pillars which is not wood. It is made out of stone, the carving of stones. That's how they use it. But they also use a lot of wood, and steel is used a lot. But the house structure is very, very similar. Yeah. Thank you, Siddharth, for bringing that. I would like you all to just spare 5 more minutes for me because, I wanted to show you one small video of the house, and it is from AC German, and it is a very nice one for us to see how these houses are and how it is. I think like Sid can actually, see, and it is, and he can tell us is this how the Poland houses are as well. Just hold on, I'm just going to share the sound, and here we go.
Wir besuchen jetzt Helge.
Okay.
Ich stehe heute vor einem typischen Haus in Berlin. Wir besuchen jetzt Helge. Das ist typisch für einen Hauseingang in Deutschland. Es gibt eine Klingel, viele Klingeln und eine Gegensprechanlage. Ich klingel bei Helge.
Oops, sorry. I just wanted to bring this alone. Hauseingang is a very important, word you need to note down in your note. Eingang is the entry. Yeah. Ausgang, A-U-S, Ausgang means exit. So this entry and exit is very, very typical for railway stations, Flughafen, anything. Whenever there is an entry, there is an exit. You will see Eingang, Ausgang. Yeah. So just note down that word. And she says typisch is like typically a house entrance in Germany. And Klingel is nothing but the doorbell.
Typisch für einen Hauseingang in Deutschland. Es gibt eine Klingel, viele Klingeln und eine Gegensprechanlage.
Gegensprechanlage, intercom. You need to know this as well, because there, if you just ring the bell, then the person who is inside has an intercom facility. They would ask who's on the door. Yeah. And then you can say, hey, here, this is so and so, I have come. And then they will open the door, only after which you can open the main door. Otherwise, you can't just open the door and go unless you have a key for the door.
Ich klingel bei Helge. Das ist der Hausflur. Das ist ein typischer Hausflur von einem Haus in Berlin. Es ist ein Altbauhaus, das heißt, es ist in einem bestimmten alten Stil gebaut, ungefähr 100 Jahre alt, und die Decken sind sehr hoch. Dieses Haus hat 5 Stockwerke. Ich gehe die Treppe hoch. Gott sei Dank gibt es hier einen Aufzug. Ich hole den Aufzug. Oh, der Aufzug ist schon da. Ich gehe in den Aufzug. Jetzt fahren wir in den 5. Stock. Oh, da ist Helge.
Hallo. Hallo, wie geht's euch?
Gut, schön, dass wir dich besuchen dürfen.
Ja, kommt gern rein.
Okay. Ich gehe in die Wohnung. Ich ziehe meine Schuhe aus. Das macht man in vielen deutschen Wohnungen. Wir sind zu Hause bei Helge. Helge, zeigst du uns die Wohnung?
Sehr gerne. Was würdest du denn gerne sehen?
Alles.
Das kriegen wir hin.
Helge, was ist das?
Das ist ein Wohnzimmer.
Was macht Friederika im Wohnzimmer?
Friederika liegt auf der Couch und liest ein Buch über West-Berlin.
Hallo. So macht man das also hier.
Die ganze Zeit.
An diesem Ort gibt es einen großen Esstisch, Kaffee und sehr viel Schokolade. Was ist das für ein Ort, Helge?
Das ist ein Esszimmer in der Weihnachtszeit.
Ah, jetzt verstehe ich, warum es hier diese ganze Weihnachtsdekoration gibt.
Immer schön rot und gold alles.
Wo sind wir jetzt?
Jetzt sind wir in der Küche. Und hier isst man Frühstück, Mittagessen und Abendessen. Oder bereitet es zu.
Das ist eine offene Küche. Hier kann man kochen und sitzen und essen.
Und auch Freunde haben. Wenn man kocht, können die Freunde dort stehen und gucken, was man so alles schneidet und zubereitet.
Zeigt uns etwas typisch Deutsches in der Küche.
Friederika, willst du vielleicht was zeigen?
Ja, für mich ist es Nutella. Das habe ich das erste Mal in Deutschland gegessen.
Das darf bei keinem Frühstück fehlen. Das ist so lecker.
Alle Deutschen essen immer nur Nutella. Helge, zeigst du uns deinen Kühlschrank?
Sehr gerne. Ich zeig mal, was ich hier drin habe. Also ganz deutsch, das allererste ist natürlich ein bisschen Bier hier. Sehr lecker.
Natürlich.
Auch bayerisches Bier. Hier ein schönes Lagerbier, hell.
Augustina, sehr zu empfehlen.
Und dann natürlich süßer Senf.
Ja.
Auch unwiderstehlich. Und natürlich aber auch scharfer Senf und Dijon-Senf und schwedischer Senf. Senf ist sehr wichtig in diesem Haushalt.
Womit esst ihr Senf oder wozu?
Zu allem Möglichen. Zu Tortellini, aber auch zu Würstchen und immer, wenn man nicht so richtig...
Zu Kartoffeln, Helge?
Oh ja, guter Punkt. Wir haben natürlich auch Kartoffeln hier. Und
Sehr deutsch.
ja, lecker, lecker. Und natürlich auch verschiedene Käsesorten. Das mögen wir auch sehr gern.
Dieser Kühlschrank ist made in Germany. Was ist das für ein Raum, Helge?
Das ist das Gästearbeitszimmer.
Aha.
Hä, Moment, was ist ein Gästearbeitszimmer? Müssen eure Gäste hier arbeiten?
Ja, klar.
Nein, Janusz, das Gästearbeitszimmer ist ein Zimmer mit 2 Funktionen. Es ist ein Gästezimmer, aber wenn keine Gäste da sind, ist es ein Arbeitszimmer.
Ja, da hast du recht.
Das war unsere Episode aus einer Wohnung in Berlin. Wir bedanken uns bei Helge, Friederika und bei Helges Vater, der uns in seiner Abwesenheit in seine Wohnung eingeladen hat. Danke, Helge.
Ja, bitte, das richte ich auch gerne aus.
Was macht ihr jetzt?
Wir gehen jetzt in ein griechisches Restaurant.
Griechisches Restaurant. Schwierig auszusprechen. Und ihr könnt jetzt Übungen machen bei Patreon zu dieser Episode. Und hier könnt ihr Easy German abonnieren. Hast du auch Easy German abonniert?
Das habe ich. Mach es jetzt.
Sehr gut. Tschüss.
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 Yeah, so I would really recommend you all to subscribe for this Easy German because it has lots of themes and there is another, like you did see, like on the left it was Easy German and Patreon. Patreon is another website where they have exercises over the video that they show. So you can really start looking at these websites whenever you have time. Easy German is for people to, so it is actually really easy because there is like English translation on the side. So the only thing is you should just forget that the English translations are there and read the German translation. And she speaks and the German words are right there in the captions. So start learning and you will get to see that your German goes a little one step further, as it is important for us to really know how they speak. We know the vocabulary, we know the grammar, but phrases are something very important and you will get it right there. Okay, thank you for the extension of 10 minutes. So ja, das ist alles von mir und tschüss bis Mittwoch. Tschüss.
Tschüss, ma'am.
Cheers, ma'am.
Tschüss. Choose Juhi.
Choose, ma'am.
Choose Siddharth. Choose Emmy.
Yes, ma'am.
Choose Sai.